Little Miss Recap contains adult language and is intended for entertainment purposes only. Hi everyone, welcome to Little Miss Recap, the podcast where we keep a full set of luggage in our car and we just throw our driver's license right under the seat.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much easier when you have to donate stuff to the Goodwill to just haul it in suitcases and unload them at, the dumpster where you dump all your shit.
It's not easier unless you're donating the suitcase.
Exactly.
It's not easier to... I can't with her.
Amy, or the podcast where we hate, hey, little man.
Little man was in this one. He was in this episode. And he talked, and I did not take one note on it because I don't give a fuck what he says.
I know. What is wrong with us? And I'm a mother.
No, we hate a kid so much. He's the worst character.
He's a terrible character. But he's actually like a really adorable kid. I just fucking hate his character.
What's hilarious though is, guys, if you're new to Virgin River, here's something you need to know. Timeline never makes sense.
No.
Okay. All 5 seasons happen in under a year. Even though Christopher looks 10 when we see him in season 5, it's only like 6 months later.
Saying this out loud is just so absurd. Just wait, guys. Just wait. But you know what? It's worth it.
I hope that everybody's enjoying the McBee dynasty.
I'm still talking about Virgin River.
Well, I need to promote the McBee dynasty because I want people tuning in.
I know.
Guys, it's so good. So our episode is going to drop Monday, episode 2. We had a real turnaround, especially on Cole.
Yeah, we did.
Whoa.
I mean, yikes.
I came for him like I do Garrick Merrifield and Cody. Like, it was bad.
My name's Cole.
Yeah,
I wish you guys could see me.
He does a head bob.
I want to take a recording of myself and I'm going to put it in Backdoor Friends.
There you go. But you guys definitely need to watch McBee Dynasty. It's real good.
So good.
And
I mean,
we're
it's
loving covering it.
Totally trashy in all the perfect ways.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I'm here for it. I hope it comes back.
Mm-hmm.
I hope we get to do it again.
Yes. I do too. I think they're lobbying for season 2, but I don't know if it's happened.
I don't know. I guess it was popular, which is funny because I didn't know about it until it was over.
I saw some people talking about it in the various podcast groups I belong to, but like none of the other podcasts I listen to are covering it. So,
okay.
Also, I want to just tell everybody that we only have 2 episodes left of Seeking Sister Wife.
Okay.
And I'm very upset about it. I'm just going to tease that we have a very special guest joining us for the finale of Seeking Sister Wife.
Okay.
So stay tuned. So we're having, and it's not Garrick Merrifield. What I wouldn't give
Oh my God.
to get him on an interview and berate him straight for 60 minutes. Okay. Also, I've joined Worthy Up, guys.
I need to talk about this.
Well, everybody's going to hear about it because I can't talk about it on the public feed.
Oh.
So it's going to be on the end of Sister Wives coming out Saturday.
Okay.
Okay. There's a full breakdown of what's happening.
And
that's all I'm going to say because legally I don't want to get in trouble.
Okay.
So that's it. I will talk about my own experience in Worthy Up on Patreon at the $8 tier under Sister Wives. Okay.
And this is the rewatch.
Yes. It's at the end, like the last 15 minutes of the episode.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to have to listen for that.
It's
not
disaster.
That
it's
I
a
wouldn't.
disaster.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know, dude.
Okay.
These people are all fucking nuts. Let's go to Virgin River where the people make me, less nuts than the real
less
people.
nuts. Yeah. I thought Jack and Mel were going to bang in this episode.
Me too, and they didn't.
They do soon though, right?
I think
or is
so.
it season 2? I can't remember.
I can't. You know what? I've watched it so many times. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
All right. So this is Virgin River season 1, episode 7, If Truth Be Told.
If truth be told.
And let me tell you guys something. It is the day after. And we've all been there. We've all been there where you act a fool, you show your ass at a party. And the next day, I was just talking to somebody about this.
You mean like every holiday party I've ever attended, or every summer barbecue that I've ever attended?
Oh, we were talking about high school reunions on Love During Lockup. And I said, I went to my 20th. And you know how I get during when music is playing, like how I really harass DJs and band members when I'm drunk.
Well, you mean how we both do?
Yeah. So Timmy and I were doing that. And the next day I saw the DJ at Wegmans, which is bad enough, but he remembered me. And was like, oh, hey, how are you today? And I'm like, I'm fine. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, you ran into a DJ at Wegmans. That's hysterical.
But I will say, my grandfather, who I never knew, he died when I was a year old, but my grandma would always tell us the story that every year at his Christmas party, he would quit his job and then have to go in the next day
and beg on Monday for
he would pull a George Costanza and pretend it never happened.
That's actually kind of awesome. I mean, who amongst us hasn't? I can't even tell you the amount of times, at least at my old job where we worked together, that I would do that's it, I fucking quit. And then I would show up the next day. Maybe not to that extent, but
you just go in and you're like, hey, what's up?
Although there have been times, at least twice, that I threatened to quit and packed up my desk and was followed out by my boss begging me not to do this.
Isn't that lovely?
And I went back. So what does that say about me?
Well, Joey's got a real shame hangover.
Yeah, she does.
She's
she's coming out of a bad marriage.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's a bad marriage.
We've all been there.
We've all been there where you're just breaking loose from your chains.
Yep.
You're
unleashing your inner Blanche Devereaux.
Yes. Yes.
So she's packing up her stuff and she's leaving, and Mel's begging her to stay and talk about what happened, but Joey's like, I can't talk right now. Do you have 2 Advil? Like, she's feeling it.
she's in rough shape.
And she's like, I made this weekend all about me and I'm sorry. And she says, I just feel like Bill woke up one day and wanted to leave. Oh, that is the worst feeling.
Yeah.
She said, we're just not connected anymore. And Mel's encouraging her to try. And Joey says, you know what? I was wrong about Virgin River. This place is fucking magical. And I want to live here too. She wants to get into the snow globe and you can't.
No. It's like a force field.
Yes. There are tickets handed out, like a golden ticket situation, put in 5 candy bars throughout the world. And you got to find one.
Mel got lucky. She found her golden ticket.
She did. And it was Jack. So an Uber pulls up. I'm like, an Uber?
I know, in the VR?
What's happening?
It's not Mater on his boat?
So maybe they take her to the boat. So Doc is getting ready to go fishing and Hope bops on over. Okay. And they've got some real passive aggressive shit happening. And he's basically like, I can't keep up with you. You're nice. You want a divorce. You don't want a divorce. It's like snip, snap, snap, snip, snap, snip. The vasectomy situation.
Hell's bells.
Whew. And he says, you're all over the map here. And then he goes, you're nuttier than a fruitcake. And you know what? I'm a doctor and that's an actual diagnosis.
Yikes.
You're not a psychiatrist, sir.
Yeah, no. And I really prefer nuttier than a squirrel turd. If it were me, that's what I would have said. Nuttier than a squirrel turd.
Okay.
But
he says nuttier than a fruitcake. Have you ever had fruitcake?
I hate fruitcake.
I've never had it.
Don't bother. It's truly the most disgusting.
Is it dry?
It's horrible. Let's just put it that. It's every disgusting flavor all shoved into one piece of gelatinous cake mush. My father-in-law, it's disgusting. You either love it or you hate it. You're not going to like it. Trust me. It's gross.
You know what I need to do? Here's what I need to do. I need to open a post office box for the podcast and BDFs. If you guys know how to make a good fruitcake, you can send it to us.
I have a post office box for my business. We'll use that one.
Okay. And they could send it to
Seriously.
us. Yeah.
Yeah. My father-in-law loves it, and he makes it every Christmas just for himself. And he's always real excited about it, and we're like, "Dude, nobody likes it but you." It's so
I make these
gross.
cakes in coffee cans, and it's cherries, and it's a cream cheese cake, but it has like walnuts and cherries in it.
No, Amy, that
And
sounds delicious.
I always thought that was like fruitcake, and Timmy was like, "No,
No.
no." Okay.
It's like dog food. I can't.
Oh, okay.
It actually makes me. I have like, just thinking about it brings me back to being like 8 or 9 years old and eating it at Christmas and hating it. But my parents like forcing me to eat it because I took it, and you can't. Once you take it, can't waste it. And I hate it so much. I'll never eat it again. It's so gross.
Okay. Guys, come at us with your opinions on fruitcake. We handle the tough topics here.
I'm going to put a poll. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to poll the group.
There you go.
Fruitcake, yay or nay.
So meanwhile, Jack is trying to call Charmaine and, apologize for the big breakup sitch. And she's sending him right to voicemail. Mm-hmm. She's doing the fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Brady comes in and Preach threatens him a little bit.
And
I'm like, back the fuck off, my man, Preach.
Let me tell you something, guys. We all know, if you've been around for a short period of time, you know that I hate Brady. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to tell you what. I think I hate Preacher more.
Okay. I'm not going to do fuck, marry, kill because it would be inappropriate in this situation. But let me just ask you, if you had to be trapped in a room, no sexual contact, just a room, would you choose Christopher, Preacher, or Brady?
Probably Brady.
Yeah, and there'd be a lot of sexual
because there'd be a lot of sexual contact. What I was going to say is, at least if I get bored, we could bang. Like,
there you go.
And I'm not like Brady. We've had this discussion. Mm-hmm. Brady's not my type.
I like Brady.
But if I had
he's a little trouble.
Yeah. But if I had to pick one of them.
So Brady comes in, Preach is threatening him, and he and Jack have to clear the air because it's the morning after the big drunk mingle where everyone has to do a big apology tour.
Yep. It's like a huge walk of shame. Everybody walks through Virgin River holding their bras.
The funniest is his face is all beat up. So he's like, he's really feeling it.
He had some real shit happen.
Jack says, look, I promised you I would always have your back. And Brady's like, I know, I'm sorry, dude. It'll never happen again. Now, Jack says, you owe Mel and her sister an apology. Why?
What?
Why does he owe Joey an apology? She was wrapped around him like tinsel on a Christmas tree.
And who made you the moral compass?
Yeah, like they were both in that. I wrote it was a mutual drunk slur fest.
It totally fucking was.
Like, and he didn't have sex with her or anything. There was not a consent issue.
No,
they didn't even kiss.
No, but what pisses me off is that, again, Jack thinks he's in charge of everybody.
And this is why Jack is not hot to me, because he's too good.
And here's the thing. Jack is hot to me, but I'm not into Jack when he's everybody's dad. Quit dadding me. Hate you when you're dad.
Totally agree.
Don't need you to be dad.
Yep.
Don't dad. Don't mansplain. Just know your place.
So Mel comes in. I don't know why Mel needs an apology, but Mel comes in and Brady has to apologize. I'm sorry for, macking on your sister.
Whatever.
And Mel says she's sad to see Joey go, but Jack cheers her up with the freshly baked raspberry muffin, and he has picked the raspberries himself because he's got time.
I know. Jack, you know what it is? This is what we need. Oh my God, I just figured out all of the time continuum in the world.
Okay.
What we need to do is put Jack and Alan Gore in a room together. And we would have the longest day that ever happened.
Alan Gore from
yes.
What was it?
Love and Death.
Love and Death.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Alan Gore.
Yes.
Because he had like the longest lunch hours of anyone I've ever known. Yes. Jack doesn't work but manages to run a successful business and parent the entire town. Yeah. And he's everyone's superhero. And put these two in a room and like we get the continuum of like time. I don't know.
And anyone will tell you, running a restaurant, you have to be there and it takes a lot of time.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
And I'm going to stop flailing my arms.
So Ricky runs out of the kitchen and he's in a panic.
Oh, poor Ricky.
And he says, oh my God, my grandma's having an issue. She's diabetic. And I feel for him. He is panicked.
This scares the crap out of me.
And so Mel's like, okay, where's your grandmother? I'll go to her. Just take me with you. And then Jack has to butt in and
Of
be like, you're
course.
not in a state to drive. I guess Mel doesn't know how to operate a car. And he's like, I'll
Whatever.
drive you over there, Mel. Let me just leave my restaurant again.
Yeah. I
Because
mean,
we're not doing prep for dinner service. Not at all.
No. Mm-mm.
We
Nope.
watched The Bear. We know how much goes into prep for dinner service. What the fuck?
What the fuck is right?
So
poor Ricky. Do you know I did have a moment though?
where you thought Ricky was a good actor.
Yes.
I did too. Yes, I did too.
I'm like, wait.
I was embarrassed to say it. I didn't want to admit it.
I was totally going to take one for the team because you did it with what's his face with Denny.
I believed Ricky was obsessed.
Me too.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's calm down. Jesus. So at the cupcake truck, Hope is swinging by to get coffee, and Joellen's there. And she's like, oh, Muriel and Doc were super close last night.
Cheek to cheek.
She's going to be the next Mrs. Mullins. Oh, and I need a dozen donuts to go. And Hope's like, why? You only have one guest. Who you feeding? What is it your fucking business? Hope is going to be that bitch that is behind me in the McDonald's drive-thru that throws me a dirty look when I order a McChicken sandwich and a cheeseburger.
And fries.
Or when I get the 20-piece nugget instead of the 10. And I'm going to look back at her in my rearview mirror and say, fuck off.
Yeah, bitch.
That's Hope.
Watch me eat these nuggets.
You don't food shame Joellen.
No, we don't food shame anyone.
No.
I love food.
So, Joellen's being dodgy about this. She's like, I can't talk about it. Takes off. Preach stops by now, and he's talking to Paige. And he's like, hey, why'd you run out of the mingle like a real weirdo? Because did I do something weird? She says, and she trails off. And then she goes, hey, what's the special at the bar? And he says, spicy duck tacos. And she's like, wink, wink, save me some.
Ew.
Okay. Does she expect him to feed her for free?
That's what I didn't understand. Yeah.
I know.
I don't get it.
Spicy duck tacos that you should be over there prepping?
Who's prepping them? That's a good point.
Nobody.
That's a good point. Is it Ricky?
Ricky's in a panic. I wouldn't trust him with a knife right now.
No.
Ricky's off collecting his Oscar. He can't prep dinner.
He's writing his acceptance speech.
He's going to win an Emmy for this shit. So on the way to Liddy's, Jack tells Mel, I broke up with Charmaine. We had to have a difficult talk, and she just wants a commitment, and I didn't want to hurt her. Mel's like, you need to tell her how you feel. Okay. I think that's what the breaking up was.
Oh,
Mel.
no, wait.
I think she knows how he felt.
Mel's like, maybe you're afraid of getting hurt. Shut up.
Okay. So they get to Liddy's now, and they have to break in, and they find her on the floor. We love Liddy. We love Liddy. Mm-hmm. And
you guys, this scene is it's so made for TV, because if you've ever known anyone that's actually a diabetic, that's not how this works.
Well,
just
you
saying.
Don't lay on the floor?
No, you lay on the floor, but I love how like they just come in and start talking to her and she's fine. She's normal again. That doesn't happen.
Well, Mel gets a cup of sugar water and Liddy has to drink it. Now they want her to drink this, but they're also asking her a fuck ton of questions.
Yeah. Like,
so she's like, I'm going to demonstrate. Here's my drink.
Okay.
You ask me questions.
Liddy, where's your blood sugar meter? Liddy, where's your insulin? Liddy, where's all your medication? Hey, Liddy, where's that box where you packed away all of that stuff 14 Christmases ago? 13? I'm going to help you. Hey, Liddy, where's your husband? Do you have a husband, Liddy?
Hey, I'm just drinking this drink.
Liddy, I'm going to change your...
Okay, we're done. Everybody just turned us off.
I know they did. Sorry, guys.
Hey everyone, stay tuned. Little Miss Recap will be right back after these words.
We shouldn't be allowed. I mean, it's no wonder. It's just no wonder.
So she's not taking care of her sugar is the bottom line. And she's got diabetes. I got diabetes. And
and then Liddy's answer is, Mel, I got diabetes. I check my blood sugar and I check it often.
Mm-hmm. She hates testing it. She hates it. And Liddy says, Mel, you look just like Ricky's mother, Elaine.
That crack whore.
She's like, I met Ricky's father and he was a goddamn nightmare and he abandoned them. And Liddy goes, they claim the drugs killed her, but I know she died of a broken heart. No. 20-year-olds don't die of a broken heart, Liddy. The drugs killed her. Okay? So then she's
Liddy.
like, then Ricky came to live with me and it's been the two of us ever since. Now, questions on the timeline here.
Mm-hmm. How long ago was that?
Right, because then we learned that she had a husband up until only 10 years ago. But you figure if Ricky's only like 16 or 17 at this point, which he is.
I'm assuming he's like 17 or 18 because doesn't he?
He has to join the military.
He enlists, yeah. I'm assuming like senior in high school.
Right, because don't forget, the timeline never moves. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Liddy says, my own husband's been gone for 10 years. It feels like yesterday. And Herb helped me manage my diabetes. And Mel says, your sugar's very low and we better get you to the hospital.
And I'm going to tell you something else. No one needs to go to the hospital for this.
That was my question. Is this an overreaction? Because it feels like
it's a huge overreaction.
Yeah. Okay. Like maybe she doesn't want to pay the deductible for the hospital visit.
But also, another thing that irritated me is Mel just assumed her sugar was low and gave her sugar water before checking her sugar because it could have been too high.
Right.
And she needed insulin. So and I'm saying this as somebody that cared for a diabetic for 40 friggin' years.
Yeah.
I know this shit. I'm telling you. I mean, I'm no doctor, but I'm telling you that's not how this goes. But anyway.
So Hope now discovers that sewing circle of whores is meeting without her. And she's pissed. They're playing canasta.
Canasta reminds me of my childhood. Do you know every fucking weekend when I was a kid, my parents' friends would come over and they would play canasta on Saturday nights until like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my God.
And all of us kids would run around like maniacs. It's one of the greatest memories of my childhood because it was just fun. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Absolutely.
So whenever I hear canasta, I get this little warm and fuzzy feeling.
I grew up in a neighborhood with 4 other families and they all had kids our age, which was awesome. And every Friday night we would all go to Pat and Mike's because the parents would just sit in the basement and drink.
Yeah.
And we would be watching like whatever came on that night, like Falcon Crest, or I used to call it Vacuum Crest when I was a little kid.
Oh, we would be watching Tales from the Crypt.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It was so bad.
It was
fun.
So now we see Hope and she sees Muriel and Muriel's like, Connie says, we don't want to fucking play with you because you're an asshole. You're real competitive. You yell, you have outbursts. She promises to behave, but Joellen wins and Hope loses and she starts screaming at everyone.
Oh, you know what?
Grow up, Hope.
Grow up, Hope. And I try real hard to give Hope the benefit of the doubt a lot, but I don't understand where this entitlement that she has comes from.
It's weird.
It's real weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to figure out her backstory. Is she like a trust fund baby?
I don't know.
A Virgin River? I want to know. Come on, writers.
Like, this is exactly
give us a story.
They're like, this is exactly why we don't play with you. And she storms off.
Yeah, like a little baby.
Mm-hmm. So now we see Brady. He's leaving for work early. And Preach is like, hey, you can't leave. And Brady's like, I'm super hungover, dude. I'm fucking leaving.
What I want.
I'm beaten up. I made an ass on myself. I had to apologize to everybody. And Preach is all like, why are you really here, motherfucker? And Brady says, this isn't Mosul. And I'm like, Mosul? So I looked it up and it's Mosul.
It's Mosul.
Mosul. Idiot. Which is fine. Okay, no. Let me put it this way. If you or I mispronounce it, fine.
We weren't there. I know.
Anyway, he's like, I'm trying, dude. Can you give me a break? And Preach is like, you steal money from the safe. You fuck the waitresses. You're gross.
You're disgusting.
And Brady's like, you're just jealous of my relationship with Jack. You're jealous that we're blood brothers.
Blood brothers.
And Preach is like, do the right fucking thing and leave. And Brady's like, okay, I'll leave.
Bye, bitch.
Bye.
Peace.
Just then.
Later, loser.
This is where, let me bang my head off my mic. This is where little man shows up.
Oh. No, can I do it?
Yeah, and I'll do preach. Okay.
No, I need to.
You're doing both parts?
I just need to do both because it goes like this.
Right, go ahead.
It goes like this.
All right, go ahead.
He's like, you know what, Brady? Just get out of here. Oh, hey, little man, what's up?
No. You missed a very important part.
Well,
you missed preach.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right, wait. Let me do it again. Get in my character.
Should we have a real disgusting fight as Brady and Preach? Yeah, let's do that. I'll be Brady.
All right.
Yo, fuck you, man. You don't know what fucking takes to be a blood brother to Jack.
You know what, Brady?
Just what? Fuck you.
Loser.
Take your dick and shove it somewhere else, motherfucker.
Oh, hey, little man. What's up?
Gotta go.
I hate us. If anyone is still listening, if you hate me, just know I hate me too.
They're not. Okay, so just then, Paige reveals that she has a dead battery and he needs to jump her car. And instead of her going with him, they sit down and like start eating something. And he's like, "Oh, okay, I'll go out and jump your car."
Yeah, well, whatever. That's because she had to come over for the free fucking spicy duck tacos.
Yeah, whatever. So he's jumping the car and he sees luggage. Okay, I'm going to tell you that you don't really have to spend a lot of time inside a car. You just have to open the hood.
Yeah.
But he's nosing around. He's nosing around.
Because he's fucking Preacher. Of course he's nosing.
That is an older car. You don't have to get in to turn it on to make sure it works. You just turn the key over and it'll start the car. Yep. But he has to get in, push his seat back, and there's her license. Just hastily discarded under her.
Mm-hmm.
And we learned that from her license that she is Michelle Logan from Tampa Bay, Florida.
Whoa.
So he goes back in and he's like, you going on a trip? Why you got a suitcase? She's like, that's how I donate my stuff for the Salvation Army. I donate clothes and suitcases. He doesn't believe this. All right.
So now you know who really doesn't believe it? Christopher.
Well, now Mel and Jack have Liddy squared away, and Mel sees a nurse and a doctor kiss at the hospital, and she has a flashback.
Oh my God, I know.
Of begging a nurse to get into Mark's room, and she has to sit down. She can't, she really can't take this. So at this point, we're starting to realize, okay, something's happened to her husband.
Something tragic.
Mm-hmm. On the way home, she's staring out a window crying, like you do. How many car rides have I had like this? Many. Usually I'm driving and sobbing. But yeah.
Do you love to drive and cry? Because I do.
I mean, for months I would put on my favorite song by the Avett Brothers.
Oh, I and You and Me?
No. Oh my God, why am I blanking on the name? No Hard Feelings.
No Hard Feelings. Yeah.
And I would just sob the entire time.
I get it.
There we go.
So guys, do you have a cry song?
I have a cry song. It's No Hard Feelings.
No Hard Feelings by the Avett Brothers.
Yes, 100%.
I have a couple, but my one real go-to, and I'm a little embarrassed. I'm almost afraid to tell you. It's Bonnie Raitt, I Can't Make You Love Me.
Oh, that's a good song.
It's a great song, but it's like that song, you can cry over anything to that song. Even though it seems so like it's just about a relationship, but like it works it does it every time.
Yeah.
That's my cry
there's
song.
A few songs that move
like
me.
A go-to. Yeah. So Backdoor Friends, I want to know what your cry song is.
I would say Working Class Hero by John Lennon is a song that really moves me at my core sometimes.
Yes. That's a good one.
Okay, so he takes her now to a diner to play pinball, and it is the worst. The extras that they have gathered up here have come from a high school. They're idiots and they don't know how to act. They're trying to fake that they're having a conversation. It doesn't look natural. It's real weird.
So bonkers. It's so weird. And why didn't they just go to his bar? Why did they stop at some rando bar
he wanted
that they
to take
made
her to
it
play
like
a pinball machine?
I cannot get out of here, Jack.
So
again, taking women to do men's activities.
I disagree. I would love to go to an arcade.
There's nothing I would hate more.
Oh, I love it.
Oh no.
We went to Barcade in Brooklyn and Jenny and I played for hours.
Yeah, hours. I know.
We love it.
I get it. I can't. It's just not for me.
I love it. You're not a gamer though.
I'm not really.
Yeah,
not
I
for
am.
Her.
and I love it.
No, send me in a bar in a quiet corner with a bottle of wine, and I'm good. I don't
Give
need
me a Donkey
activities.
Kong
No, I don't
arcade
even.
game,
No,
Centipede,
I don't.
Zaxxon.
I don't need an activity. I
Love it.
am the activity. Okay.
I love some Guitar Hero. I get real into it. Ask my kids. I get real into it.
I could get real into like a Mario Kart. That shit I'm good at, but I'm not like a gamer. No way.
So they have fun, whatever. And then he walks her to her door. I don't know why, but he does.
Why? And it's like, it's not even like it's outside. He goes inside.
I just realized I think they bang in the cabin for the first time.
I think you're right.
I don't think it's at Joe Ellen's.
It's not.
So
I think you're right.
She's like, I'm only in town because of you. And then she leaves and goes inside, and we see him like, it suddenly occurred to him that she's interested in him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like what?
Now we see Hope heading over to the clinic. She needs printer paper. She goes in. I'm not making this up, guys. Instead of running to a CVS, she drives over to her ex-husband's clinic, lets herself in, and steals printer paper.
I mean, I would probably do that.
She then sees a picture of young Vernon, and she calls him, and I'm confused because doesn't he live there? But we find out he's still fishing, even though it's dark.
Even though it's dark. He's still clearing his head.
She's like, I'm just making sure you didn't fall out of your boat and die. Ha ha ha, call me.
But you can tell she's a little sad, and I kind of felt a little bad for her.
Jack heads on over to Charmaine's, and well, I have a question for you. Let's back up. Let's back up.
Oh.
She sees a picture of young Doc. Do you keep a picture of yourself in your office? Like, it's just him in the picture. There's nobody else.
No.
And it's not like he's standing. Like, I have a bunch of selfies that I take when I go places with landmarks behind me. I don't frame them, put them in my office. They're on my phone.
Right.
But like,
yeah, same.
It's not like he's even in a special place. I mean, he is holding a fish, so maybe that's it. But
maybe it was like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Although, come to think of it, my father had like 2 photo albums full of pictures of just him holding fish.
Yeah, but they're not on display in a frame in his workspace.
No, they were in a photo album.
It's different to have them in a photo album, I feel like. I have lots of pictures of myself in a photo album.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's weird.
So, whatever. Now Jack is heading over to Charmaine's. It's late. She's sweeping up her salon because she was working her fingers to the bone.
To the bone, cutting all that hair. She's so sought after.
She is sought after.
All
She's
the hair
like,
that she was sweeping up. What the fuck
do you want?
I know.
It was real good. And he says, we need to talk, and you need to know that I love being with you, and we have a good time banging. But I can't say that I love you. And she's like, does Mel have anything to do with this? He's like, no.
Whatever do you mean? Who's Mel?
And she's like, you need to be honest with yourself, douchebag.
Yeah.
She says, I'm not going to wait around for you to fall in love with me. Get the fuck out of here. And he's like, I didn't mean to hurt you. And she goes, you didn't. You just wasted my goddamn time. He leaves, and in his truck, he finds Mel's gloves. Now, there's a couple questions here.
Okay.
Why does she need gloves?
I don't know, because it didn't look very cold
It's
to me.
not cold.
No.
She left those behind on purpose.
Did it on purpose. Just like, we leave a hair tie behind.
Sure. And then you have to go over there and get the scrunchie. Well, he heads on over there because she might need her gloves, even though he just put her to bed.
Yeah, exactly. She might need them to sleep.
So now we see Mel. She's chilling, reading To Kill a Mockingbird. I guess she didn't read it in 8th grade like we all did.
Like the rest of us.
And Joey calls.
Oh,
she's home, but Bill's leaving, and she just had to get out of the house and walk around the streets of LA at night and talk to
Mom. Wait. And she just left her kids there to watch their dad pack up and leave? Like, what? Do you see what I mean? How many times? You guys, all right, we're going to stop. Full stop right now. Last season, we had a whole conversation about how I think Joey is a horrible fucking mother. And this is where it started for me.
Okay. I don't remember that conversation, but like, I'm not,
Yes, because, do I want to spoil it?
No. I'm just saying I don't remember that conversation.
There was.
But I don't doubt that it happened.
There was one. And I don't want to, we'll talk about it offline. Okay. But I will tell you, this is where it started for me. Okay. So not only does she just take off to go to Virgin River to jump into the snow globe because her life is falling apart. She left her kids behind, which is fine. We all do it. I mean, we all that I'm not judging that. My God, I
Yeah.
would leave my kids behind every fucking weekend. If
I'll
I
leave
could.
my kids
No.
behind right now.
Yeah, seriously.
Mhm.
No, that is not what I mean. But you'll see as it goes on, she does some real weird fucking shit.
Okay. So Joellen comes in now with the tea tray. Now, this is a problem. She is not staying over as your daughter's friend.
No.
She is a paying guest in the B&B, and you're knocking on her door at night giving her tea. Get out of my room. Leave me alone. This is why I won't stay in a B&B.
That doesn't happen.
I've stayed in them, but
that's never happened.
This is my fear.
No.
My fear is I'm going to have to see other people.
This doesn't. Well, you'll have. Yeah. Okay. Well, yes. Last year, Pat and I went to one upstate New York, and it was a beautiful place. But we had to eat breakfast with all these weirdo people.
That's my problem.
And I didn't love that, but the food was really good.
We stayed at one in Woodstock, and it was owned by this French woman, and her husband was an astronomy professor. And they were fantastic. And we were the only ones in. It was only like 3-bedroom in. We were the only ones there. The next morning, she goes out, picks her eggs right from the chickens, comes in, makes me the most delicious omelet I've ever had in my life. That was a good experience.
Yeah. There's an inn in Jim Thorpe that Patrick and I love to go to, where it's an inn and like they leave snacks and stuff for you, but they're not actually there to aggravate you. Like you have your own entry. It's great.
Make yourself scarce. We don't want to interact.
But also what I wanted to ask you is, what time of night do you think this is? Because did you notice? So here's something I noticed in this episode that I'd never noticed before, even in all the times that I've watched this. So like, what kind of town do you think Clear River is?
Okay, this is a question. So if she's closing her shop and it's dark, now don't forget, they're pretty far north. They're about almost as north as we are. So like if it's fall, presumably, darkness can come at 7 o'clock. So I'm wondering if she closes around 7.
Okay. So
and then takes him about an hour to go do what he's got to do and get back.
Right. So the reason that I ask is because when he was there doing his like breakup speech, there were like buses and all kinds of traffic outside. And I was just like, wow, is this like, were they like making this so that it looked like a big city?
They might be.
Yeah.
They might be. I know in Scranton, the buses only run till 9 o'clock.
They run that late?
I think so. Let me look.
I thought it was like 6.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think it's 9. I really think it's like 6 o'clock or 5 even.
See. Let me
definitely
see.
not.
So we're
9.
looking at the Scranton one, right?
Yeah. Let's look.
So Lake Scranton, Valley View, Hilltop. Like, let's look there. Okay. It looks like the last one is 7:10.
Yeah, see, it's early.
Okay. Yeah. That's Monday through Friday, and on weekends, not much later. Wow. 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Okay, so then, all right, and I know what they're doing here. The audience thinks it's going to be Jack, and it's Joellen.
Yeah.
So then we get another knock on the door. Well, first we get a flashback to her being covered in blood in the emergency room waiting room. And we learn that her husband has died. She takes off her wedding ring just as Jack knocks on the door. He has her gloves. I'm thinking he's going to rush in and bang her.
Me too.
That did not happen. She just says, my husband is dead and it was my fault. And that's it. That's it. End of episode. Let me get the description for the next one.
Okay.
Did you like this episode?
I did. Did you?
Yeah.
It's a good one. I mean, I like all. There's not an episode that I don't like of this.
Same.
Let's be real.
Same. Okay. Next episode is called Into the Light. A storm causes a power outage and everybody gets together at Jack's bar. Mel grapples with her revelation and Preacher investigates Paige.
Revelation.
In episode 9, it's Charmaine's letter. Okay.
This just means we're going to get more Preacher.
Yeah. We're going to get more Preacher, guys. He's here for you. It's coming. All right, guys. If you haven't already, jump in our Facebook group. If you would like to support the show, please join us on Patreon, Supercast, or Apple subscriptions, where we cover a ton of stuff. And Sister Wives Rewatch, as we talked about.
And leave us a review.
5 stars. Preach.
Preach. 5 stars only. Preach.
Yep. All right, little man. See you next time. Bye.
Love your bones.